This is a follow-up. This is a follow-up to a previous video where I was just putting together this really simple one module modular system. And we just listened to this. This is Brains from Behringer, which is a sort of their version of braids stroke plats. And in the previous video, we just listened to some of those voices just raw straight out of the module into my mixer, which sounded pretty sort of, well, it sounded pretty raw. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a sort of a way that we can make that sound a bit more nice and a bit more interesting, just using some processing and some effects modules that you may already have lying around. That's this video. So similar to previous setups, I've got a USB MIDI interface up there, and there's a MIDI cable coming from that into a TD3. And I'm using this as essentially a MIDI to CV converter. In the previous video, the CV out of the TD3 was going into volt per octave. Same deal this time, but now if you want to play Brains with a keyboard, I'm taking the gate out into level, not trigger. Not quite sure why that's different, depending on if I use an ARP versus me playing a keyboard. But it works. Worked real good. I think, you know, what's nice about this one module setup is that I don't need a voltage controlled amplifier, a VCA. I mean, I don't really even need an envelope generator. Although obviously I don't have like slow attack or slow release, you know, I don't have those controls either because it's just a single module, but I can at least, you know, play Brains with my MIDI keyboard, which is cool. So in a live setup, you know, that's might be all. I mean, you need a few different things. You need to send control voltage to it. You could achieve that using a keystep keyboard though, and actually sort of starts to sound like quite a tractable live setup. You know, just that module and a keystep. That could be cool. You could even use a swing, ladies and gentlemen, couldn't you? You could even use a swing. But in this video, we're going to try and make this Brains module, which is a digital module, so not as perhaps nice sounding as some of the analog stuff, but what Brains does give us is lots and lots and lots of different voices to play with. So we're going to look at some, how it sounds with effects. My recommendation to work with the Brains is the NTS1. These are fairly inexpensive, but actually the sounds you can get out of these, particularly as an effect module, is unbelievable. You will have to build it yourself. These come as kits. Another thing I like about these NTS1s is that, you know, you're coming out of here on a 3.5mm cable, and you go into this on a 3.5mm cable, and then you come out of it with a 3.5mm cable. But actually, you know, you're probably going to take that into a mixer. But but so it's all kind of, you're in kind of 3.5mm cable territory, you know, patch cable territory, right? Another good thing about the NTS1 is, as I'm showing, I'm powering it with a USB brick thing. And in principle, we could probably, you know, sort of let that sit inside the box. If somebody has made a little Euro rack thing that holds an NTS1, let me know in the comments. That would be super cool. I mean, I think even if Korg released like the NTS1 as a Eurorack module, I think that would fly off the shelves. I mean, it probably wouldn't be that hard to do. You could probably, I mean, what do you need? Just a few little arms, a header and a footer that would just fit into there. So I'm sure people have done that. That seems like a no-brainer to me. And then you could just tuck, a USB power supply kind of behind it. Yeah. Someone must have done that. Anyway, I have got the 1, 2, 3, 4th oscillator along selected, which sounds like this. Which actually sounds okay. Let's engage some delay. Use ping pong delay. Already sounds good. Beautiful. Let's engage some reverb. Hall reverb. That's good, man. That sounds good. I'm worried to make this video too long, but just having these two things is super good fun. We're on to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th oscillator from the top red bank. I've set up, what have I set up? A stereo delay and a space reverb. Not quite sure what that is. That's a good sound. Okay, more explorations. Okay, this is the last of the top row of the A bank. I'm going to set up oh no, high pass. Let's go mono delay. Is that a simple old school delay? Let's put one of the amazing shimmer reverbs. I think it's called Riser on the NTS1. And because we've got the mods spot as well, let's put a bit of chorus in. Let's have a listen. How good does that sound? How good does that sound? So, a Brains, an NTS1, that is a really nice little, portable. I mean, it still needs to be powered, right? You still need to power this, but that's a nice little sort of micro sort of setup. Let's look at some other options for effects. Okay, we've got the Brains set up 3rd oscillator of the red bank. NTS1 is all turned off. I've got my insert cable plugged into this channel, and I got my Lexicon plugged in. Let's dial in some Lexicon reverb. Let's dial in some ping pong delay. It's cool. There's a world of sound just in that one module, a world of sound, and we don't need to do a lot else, right? Just for that to be totally usable. Now you might be thinking, right, dude, I can't afford an NTS1, I can't afford a Lexicon. Well, this is the Caline, well, I've variably seen it called the Ragnarok pedal, or the purple reverb pedal. I think they launched it as a Ragnarok and then maybe got sued by Marvel. But this is a reverb delay pedal, and these are about 50 quid, $50, 50 euros. Possibly a rip-off of a Canyon pedal, Keeley Canyons, maybe. Doesn't sound as good. It's no Blue Sky, it's no Flint, but it is cheap. So I've turned off my Lexicon. We're in oscillator number 4, red number 4. Bit of delay. Just turn that down a bit. Bit of reverb. It's not great, is it? Bit of both. So it works, but it's not great. Let's give that a go with one of the percussive sounds. Let's just go to the bank straight below it. It's a crazy module. Sounds okay, doesn't it? Great. great. Just as a final option, the good old Korg Kaoss pad, which, you know, does actually nicely sit on top of the box. It's almost like a perfect footprint. You know, you could even imagine sort of blue tacking that onto the box, right? So when you sort of pick it up, sort of, it just all sort of travels with it. But yeah, Kaoss pad can introduce some interesting options as well. If you think, you know, we've got all of that nonsense and all of this nonsense, it's a world of sound, man. Let's put one of the percussion sounds back onto it. Sound designer's playground. Fantastic. So let's call it a day for this video. I was aware that when, you know, in the previous video we were just listening to Brains just as is, straight out of the box, and I think in a studio situation it's, you know, it's going to be more likely that you're going to sort of pair it with an effect or two. But of course you could record it into Reaper or Ableton or Logic or Pro Tools or whatever, and obviously just, you know, put a bunch of effects on it post recording, which is also worth doing. But yeah, so hopefully this video gives you a bit more of a better idea about Brains and some of the sounds you can get when you've actually got some nice effects going on. I think everything I say for Brains would probably be also applicable to braids or plats. If you can get hold of those modules, they're a little bit hard to get hold of. Mind you, Brains was a bit hard to get hold of, you know, when it first came out. I think there's a few of these floating around now. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next one.